Well, good afternoon and happy Saturday to you. Dr. Preston Ray Winfrey here, and I'm happy to greet you another Saturday in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. How are you? Well, check me out. I'm all gooded up. We had our district association this morning, and we had a glorious time. And those of you who weren't there, I wish you could have been there. It was really, really nice. How in this world are you? Hope that you're doing good, that you're doing well, that you're fantastic. Hope that you've had a phenomenal week, have you? I have had a good week. It's been a great week, and this has been a great day for me. And for that, I am so thankful. In the background is thank you, Lord, right? For all that you've done. And certainly, He has done great and marvelous things for me. What about you? Hasn't He been good to you? I mean, just without even getting you showered on, He's been good, hasn't He? I know He has. He's been good to me. He's brought me from one degree to the next degree. He has blessed me today once again with a reasonable portion of my health and strength. I'm in my right mind. I know my name. I know who I am. I know where I am. I know what today is. And I have a watch. I know what time it is. And it's just time to do it the way it needs to be done, right? That's for real. That's keeping it 100. So many people in life are salty, they're upset, they're mad all the time, and I get it, There will be those times, those moments when you will be mad, you'll be upset, angry at others, sometimes angry at yourself. But most times, we're the last person to get angry with ourselves. And you know what? Believe it or not, I think that's pretty much what I want to talk about today. Do the right thing to be accepted. Do the right thing to be accepted. There are so many people who just refuse to do the right thing. They want acceptance. They want to be in the limelight. They want others to think well of them. They want the props in life. They want the bonuses. They want the attention. But for some reason or the other, they just simply don't want to do the right thing. They want to be accepted. They want people to smile at them and be happy for them. But sometimes a person can block their own happiness. You can block your blessings. We know about blocking other people's blessings. We throw little monkey wrenches, in the gear shift to kind of stop things. And it is true, what's for you is for you. And sometimes people can be responsible for the delay of certain blessings, right? But they can't really stop your blessings. And what God has for you, it is for you. And what's intended for you is for you. And you will get it. I've heard so many things, the devil took this and I'm going back to take it back. Listen, anything that the devil took, he can keep it. I don't want to deal with that fella. I have enough problems and troubles on my own. So I'm not going to look for the devil's camp. I'm not going to tear his kingdom down. I'm just going to stand and resist him as the Lord gives me the strength and the ability to do so. And then I'm going to try with my right mind to do what I believe the Lord has commissioned me to do. And that's what this thing is all about. And so, again, we're talking today, do the right thing to be accepted. Don't you know many, many people are living a life of not being accepted? not accepted by others. Some just live their lives in shame, unfortunately. Didn't make progress. They didn't accomplish things, worthwhile in their life. And because of that, time does not stop. The hours, as they say, the clock keeps ticking. The meter's going, it keeps spinning. And, no matter you say, well, I just want to push the button and stop and get off and just chill for a while. You can get off, you can push the stop button, but may I tell you, honestly, pushing the stop button does not stop time. Time moves on. And whether you're having fun or not, time moves on. You keep having birthdays. Every day you're getting older. You're getting older moment by moment, minute by minute. You cannot reverse that process. And there are so many people who think that I can just freeze it. I will freeze time and I'll just stay right here in between forward and reverse, and maybe I'll see how long I can hold out. You can do that if you like, but may I tell you, time is still rolling. It does not stop. You say, I'll pull the battery out. You can pull the battery out, but batteries do not control time. The Lord has all times in his hand, and he's given us time to do what we need to do. And we're wise if we can do what he has instructed us to do. And what's wiser than that is knowing what he wants us to do. Now, when he gives you an assignment to do, or whenever you receive an assignment, you have the responsibility to do it to the best of your ability, as safely as you possibly can and as efficiently as you work. It is so important to know your job, learn your job, and then do your job. But there are people in life who just have this loser mentality that I'm just going to get something for nothing. May I convince you that you get as well as you give. If you put nothing into the pot, you're not going to get anything out of it. And don't you know, it does not matter how good the pot is. If you expect to get a meal out of that pot, you're going to have to put a meal in that pot. You're going to have to cook it. You're going to have to prepare it. And depending on how you prepare it will determine how it tastes. You've had some meals that were done in a hurry, I'm sure. And what was the proof? Oh, you could taste it. But can't you just taste a meal that has been prepared in love? Oh my goodness, it just puts weight on you. Makes your tongue want to slap your brains out. It just tastes that good. And that's how life is. You have to prepare for it. When you're young, you ever notice people just give you things? They pour into you constantly. They help you. And of course, when you're young, one of the things that you don't want, you don't care for, is being disciplined. Well, discipline is a tool that is used that hopefully will help you to correct some of your crooked ways. And I discovered that you don't have to go to school to learn to be crooked. When you and I were born, because we were born in sin, we had a great deal of being crooked in us already, right? It was in our minds. No one had to teach us how to tell a lie. No one had to teach us how to be selfish, mean-spirited. Those things they were just laying there. We picked them up and put them on, and they became garments for us. And we used them as often as it became necessary. And even when we knew to do better, it was more convenient to just always take those old garments and use them on people. And so to this end, we grow up being mean and obstinate, stubborn and rebellious. We appreciate, we love when people give. But then when we discover that the lesson to be learned in receiving is that now the day has come, you're going to have to give back to someone else. Well, that does not go over very well with many people because they believe it's more blessed to receive. But the scripture says it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. Why is doing the right thing so challenging? Why is it so difficult? It's not impossible, certainly, but why is it such a challenge? It's because that's the easy way out. If I don't do the right thing, then, hey, I feel good. After all, I didn't ask to be born, or neither did anyone else. They just looked up one day and they were here. I read an account in Genesis in the 4th chapter about Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve, first couple who were actually created. They were not born, they were created. And the Lord fixed it, and the day came when Adam and Eve, got together, did, what married people do, right? And they had a child, and his name was Cain. And sometime after that, they had another son, and they named him Abel. And so these two boys, they were growing up, and they had been taught, family responsibilities. And I'm also believing that they were taught responsibilities that they had towards the Lord. Haven't you been taught that? Oh, I know you have. I know that somewhere in your life somebody told you about the Lord and what he expects out of you. But let's see how this plays out. Cain grew up, and when you read what actually took place, Cain was kind of a lazy fella. He wanted something for nothing. And the day came when they were to offer sacrifices. Let me cut to the chase, to the Lord. And they knew what the Lord required, a sacrifice. A sacrifice is not an offering. Most often when you give an offering, you don't feel anything. You're just like, oh, hey, okay, reach in my spirit pocket, right? And give this offering. But when you start talking about a tithe, and when you start talking about giving as the Lord has prospered you, New Testament talk now, takes you far beyond just giving a tithe. So my friends, those of you who say, well, I'm tithing and that's a whole lot, that really isn't a whole lot, because that's just 10% of what you say you're earning or you're bringing in, right? But if you really want to do something big, let 10% be in the background and go beyond that 10% and really make a sacrifice. You're going to feel that sacrifice. So Cain and Abel were to make the sacrifice, and the process of time, Cain, he brought fruit, grain, right? And he presented that to the Lord, an offering. And Abel, when it was time for him to bring in his, he brought from his firstlings, nice, young, tender meat from his flock. And he got the choice pieces, and he, no doubt, cut them up and dressed them, cleaned them. And he took those before the Lord. And guess what? the Lord accepted only one of those. Did he accept Cain's, or did he accept Abel's offering? If you said Abel, you are absolutely correct. Now, that's mind-boggling, because here Cain is the oldest, right? He's the eldest of the two. He knew better. He was taught first. You know, he knew what was required. And what would make him go and get some grain, give the Lord a grain offering? You know, actually, everything belongs to the Lord, the grain and the meat. But the Lord wanted a sacrifice, something that had some blood attached to it. Abel, are you saying, or are you thinking that maybe Abel had more sense than Cain? You do the math. I don't believe that he had more sense than his older brother, because by virtue of the fact that Cain was here longer, he should have, and I'm convinced that he knew much more than his younger brother Abel did, which, just put a little bracket there. I want to say to the young people, you know, sometimes you may believe because you're young and you have, you know, these people singing your praise, your peers, and somehow they convince you that you know more than your parents, or more than your elders. I want to discourage you from thinking that way. If that's how you're thinking, it doesn't matter what kind of education you're getting. You're not going to have more sense than them. So let's just keep it real, really real, right? You're not going to have more sense than your parents. You're not going to have more sense than your teachers, and et cetera, et cetera. So just get with the program, get in line, wait your turn, and the day will come when you will be able to showcase just how smart you are. So Cain, he gets the report. What? The Lord didn't accept my offering, and he accepted my baby brothers? What's up with this? What's up? And so he's now sulking. He's upset. Something, ferociously upset. And the Lord checks him. He puts him in check. He said, "Hey, Cain, what's going on with you, man?" Ain't nothing. You know, he got that look on his face, you know, he mad, he big dog, right? And the Lord says, I noticed that your countenance, you know, your face is all jacked up. What's that all about? He said, now, you need to get it together. You know, you didn't accept what I gave you, man. And I took my time and put that stuff together for you, and you accept my little brother's stuff over mine? I don't get this. I ain't feeling this. And he said, well, I really need you to pull it together. Say, because the way you're headed, you're going to end up doing what's not good. Well, I don't understand. I don't understand. How come you wouldn't accept what he said, listen, had you done the right thing, don't you know I would have accepted it? But you made a conscious decision not to do the right thing. And you want me to reward you for not doing the right thing? Isn't that ridiculous? And don't you know people today who are like that? They want to be rewarded for not doing right. They want to be rewarded for not doing what's feasible. I can recall when I was teaching, and we had students who would come in, and somehow they just wanted me to ignore that they did not study, did not apply themselves, did not pay attention to the lectures. And then when it came time for the grade, they somehow wanted me to reward them with this beautiful grade. So they wanted me to drop my integrity as their instructor and give them a passing grade and give them a high mark, which would have been a signal that they had done well when they really did not do well. They refused to do well, and they were just wishing that I would be so merciful and so gracious. And so to this end, they said, boy, he's a good teacher, but he was strict. Yes, I was the teacher. And even in grading you as I did, I had to give you the right grade, because that was to tell you that if you would only do the right thing, you would be rewarded, you would be accepted. You know, there are those who want to be part of associations and clubs and certain groups, but they don't want to do the right thing. They just want to slide in. They want to get up, come in up under the radar, and they don't want to be held accountable for doing what is required. They just give me the props. Let me just slide on in there, and they know that's not right, but doesn't stop them from wanting to do it anyhow. You know? How many people do you know today who's not doing well in life when they could have done well? They're not doing well because they chose not to do well. And so now they're angry, they're distraught, they're upset. They're upset with others who have done well, others who have studied. If you didn't study, why should you get mad with the person sitting across from you who studied and turned their paper in? No, you don't want them to turn their paper in yet. Do the work, complete the test, and pass me the answers, and then we can walk out together and be friends, or else. For real, come on, do the right thing. Do the right thing. You want others to think well of you, and you think crummy of them. You assassinate people's character. You mistreat people on purpose. You're sarcastic in your approach. You can't answer questions rather than answer a question, truthfully. You have to go around the block. Do the right thing. I mean, how much time does it really take for you to do the right thing? That's all we're talking about. Let's close with what happened with Cain. Cain was so upset, and rather than do the right thing, you would think after the Lord had checked him and told him, okay, this wasn't acceptable, that he would have said, okay, Lord, I do know better. I know what I need to do, and I will go back and give me a chance to get this thing straight. That never happened. He saw his little brother Abel as the reason why he was not accepted. And rather than own up to the error of his own ways, he said, hey, Abel. Cain says to his little brother Abel, come on, let's go play baseball. He said, baseball? What's that? Oh, I'll show you. Come on. He said, that's where you have a ball and a bat. And so he takes his stick and he knocks his brother in the head. He kills him. Wow. For real. Why did he kill his little brother? Because he was angry with his little brother. Because his little brother's offering came in and won first place, first prize. And Cain was not rewarded at all. Why was he angry with Cain? Because he got the recognition. He couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle someone else being in the light. He couldn't handle someone else being talked about, and praised, rather, not talked about, praised. How are you? Can you rejoice when others are being rewarded? Can you be happy for someone else's success? Or are you angry, sit back in the background, mad and upset? That should be me. I should be getting that. That should be my house. That should be my car. I should have that job. Well, you probably could have had you applied yourself, but you made a conscious decision not. You chose to be like Cain. Let's look at the contrast. Cain was unrighteous. Abel was righteous. Why do the unrighteous get mad and angry with the righteous? It's because they see how blessed the righteous are. They see that they have the favor of God in their life. The righteous is able to call on the name of the Lord, who's the strong tower. The righteous, when they fall, they don't utterly fall. They're not destroyed. They get up. When the wicked, David said, even my enemies and my foes came upon me to eat up my flesh. Because I was righteous, the wicked stumbled and fell. And even when there's a host against me, my heart won't fear. War can rise against me, but I'll still maintain my confidence. When you're righteous, you can see God. When you're righteous, God will pick you up on every leaning side. When you're righteous, God will lead you through the valley of the shadows of death, and you won't have to fear. Cain had the opportunity to do the right thing, but he just would not do the right thing. Well, let me say, I'm closing. Your blood is still running warm in your veins. Can you make up in your mind today, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to quit complaining. I'm going to quit blaming everyone else for why I'm no longer or why I'm not any further than I am in life. And maybe if you're unable to do this on your own, get with someone. Quit getting with losers. Quit hanging around people who endorse your insanity. Go around someone who can speak truth to you and who can say, you know what, here's where you made your mistake, but here's how you can clean up your act. Have the courage to sit down with someone, trusted someone who can tell you the truth. It will bless you. It will be strength to your bones. And maybe at the end of it, you will be able to smile and have the joy and the peace that others have. Yes, unfortunately, Cain killed his brother. And the Lord came right back to him again and said, where's your brother? And he sarcastically said, am I my brother's keeper? He said, your brother's blood is crying out. I know where it's at. And I know what you've done. And as a result, Cain now became a fugitive. God put a mark on him. And don't you know there's a mark on others today who refuse to do the right thing? And they know there's a mark on them. The Lord died for you so that you could have every mark removed from your forehead. Why don't you today bow down to Him, the Lord? Ask His forgiveness. Ask for His strength. Ask Him to lead and guide you and direct you. And I am a witness by virtue of the resurrecting power that He has. He can do it for you. He did it for me, and He'll do it for you. Well, listen, this is Dr. Winfrey saying I love you. I've had a great afternoon with you. Thank you for taking this time with me. And I pray that you have a great rest of today and a tremendous day on tomorrow. Okay? May God bless you. May heaven smile on you is our prayer. Listen, we at Pioneer will be in worship in person on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And we also will be streaming live on this same channel. And I want to encourage you to push the like button, push the notification button, bell, that's on the top of your screen on the right-hand side. And by all means, please share this on your page with others. You just, again, never know who can be helped, who can be blessed as a result of this message today. So again, that title is Do the Right Thing to Be Accepted. And listen, it may seem to be the scenic route, it may seem to be the long way around, but I'm going to tell you, if you do the right thing, you will be able to rest your head down at night on a pillar of peace and say, you know what, it's been a mighty good day. This is Dr. Winfrey saying I love you. Thank you for joining me. And be blessed and be a blessing. Good day and good afternoon.